Right, so good evening. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world. It's international breaks. It's been 2 weeks and then some. Not that I've really missed Arsenal being back in action, but we are back in action, and we've got IG, aka the Indian Gooner. How's it going, IG, man?
It's been a tough 1.5 week for me. I think been busy, but raring to go to see my Arsenal play against Southampton.
Okay, Richard, Arsenal TV, how's it going with you?
Yeah, man, good. I've enjoyed the break away from Arsenal over the past 2 weeks, and obviously taking the break away from YouTube. But yeah, I'm recharged and ready to go for the rest of the season.
There you go. So you've heard it from two old heads on Cannon Fodder TV, the Easytalk. But it will be a bite size. I promise you guys. Really, we're not going to be talking just for the sake of talking. And I think IG knows what I'm talking about.
No, IG definitely does not know what you're talking about.
Anyway, so those of you guys who are watching on all platforms, all barring YouTube, we're currently on Periscope, and we're also on our Facebook page. We haven't done any work really for a long time on our Facebook page, but we're going live now on Twitter, Periscope, and Facebook. So if you guys would do us a favor by subscribing, liking, and share the content if you want to. You better, because we know where we live. But anyhow, let's get into it. So the first one we actually wanted to talk about was the demise of Mauricio Pochettino. Yes, he's no longer the head coach, the manager, or whatever you want to call his former job at Spurs. What does it mean for Pochettino? Where is he going to head now? Is he going to be the next Arsenal coach? I don't know. I hope not. But we did a poll on Cannon Fodder TV, and so far, 40% of you guys said that he would be a good fit for Arsenal. And the other 40% have said, why not? Because Sol Campbell came from Spurs, as you guys will know, and so did George Graham as well. And I think the other 20% said that you don't really want to see Pochettino at Arsenal. IG, what are your thoughts on Pochettino?
Well, a brilliant coach. Tactically, he's a very good coach. Gets the best out of the youngsters. I think if Arsenal will opt for him, I think it would be a worse option because, see, if Arsenal are seeking for Champions League football, he's the best, but he's not won anything. So I don't think so. It would definitely be a gamble for a bigger team, even wherever Pochettino goes. A bigger team will definitely, they'll think of it. He's done tremendously remarkable, given the wage bill that Daniel Levy had given him, and the faith that he's shown on the youngsters. A lot of players came through the ranks of Spurs and actually lifted the level of football that Spurs used to display. But I think the only two places that I won't see him go, because he is a very loyal person, is that he will definitely not be going to Barcelona or Arsenal. I think that's what I actually read an excerpt from his 2017 interview where he said that for him loyalty matters the most, and he's an Espanyol fan, so he knows what it means to betray Espanyol, and he would definitely not go to Barcelona. And the same thing he feels about Tottenham as well. So I think Arsenal and Barcelona are definitely out of the question.
Richard, I know you're not Unai Emery's greatest of fans, but on the other hand, what do you think about Pochettino? Do you think there may be a small smidgen chance of him being the next coach at Arsenal?
I hate to admit it, but yes, I think there is a small chance that he could possibly become the next Arsenal manager in terms of the way Unai Emery is using us at the moment. I think it's a massive gamble for Tottenham to get rid of Pochettino, because I think that Pochettino has been one of their best managers for so many years. And he's the reason why Tottenham were getting into the top four and getting third in one of the seasons. He's the reason why. Because if you look at the previous managers that they've had, like Tim Sherwood, when they've had other previous managers before that, they was nowhere near top 4 or even top 10. They was more or less 15th or somewhere thereabouts. But I think it's a massive, massive gamble for Tottenham to get rid of him. And I think it's more or less came to the part of losing in the Champions League final. I think that's where it's sort of spiraled out of control for him. Because obviously where they've got the stadium, he hasn't really brought in any players that he wanted during the transfer market, obviously because them having their new stadium, their training ground and whatnot. So I think it's a massive, massive gamble for Tottenham to get rid of Pochettino at this stage in the league.
So would you have given him more time? I get the sense yeah.
I would have actually gave Pochettino until the end of the season. I really would. I know that there was, with the players' contracts where they've had to hold down Ericsson and a few other players because they was afraid to get rid of it. And I think that was one of the other reasons why that he was stayed on. But I think it is a massive gamble to get rid of him. And I reckon that slowly but surely you might see Tottenham come a bit lower to where they are now in the next couple of games.
Can I come in on this?
Yeah, sure.
Richard, actually, see if you're saying that Pochettino should have been given, you would have given Pochettino, till the end of this season. Well, his team currently is in a worse place than Unai Emery's Arsenal. Emery is 6th, and Tottenham is at 14th. And you also know that Daniel Levy did not give him the money, and he did not get the right amount of players which he wanted to bring in. And we also know that Ericsson was stalling on contract talks, like how Aubameyang is actually stalling the contract talks. So if you believe that Pochettino should be given the time till the end of season, why are you Unai Emery out?
I'm Emery out because I don't see no philosophy at Arsenal. I don't see no style of play. Whereas under Pochettino, when he was at Tottenham, I could see a style of play. It was counter-attacking football. I don't see that at Arsenal no more. That's the reason why I'm Emery out. Truly.
But right now, if you see the condition, Pochettino has done wonders for the last 4.5 seasons. But this season, you know that they are 14th. They've lost to numerous lower-ranked teams, and they are now 14th. Sheffield United are higher than them, and Arsenal are higher than them. So how do you treat Pochettino differently and Emery, your own manager, differently? Because though I completely agree, Pochettino is also a tactician. He also has a philosophy, but his philosophy was lost in the games that they've played. So how does that even come into picture? I mean,
see Tottenham. Like, as you said, that they've lost so many games to lower league sides. So have we. We've lost to teams like Sheffield United when really we should have won. Even if you look at the game like Crystal Palace and Wolves. Those are the type of games we should be winning. And Pochettino done exactly the same. He wasn't winning those games either. So they're in the same boat, but we've got a better squad than Spurs.
So how come are they in the same boat if they are ranked differently? We are 6th and they're 14th. They are way below than us. So I think Pochettino had it coming. Why should Emery have the same fate? And you have trust in Pochettino and not Emery.
There is something I am going to say, and I mentioned it in my preview as well. You look at the current position that we're in now, between in 6th place. The gap between 6th and 15th is only 3 points. Between 6th and 20th is only 10 points. If we lose any more games, we could be in that same position as Spurs are right now.
So that also suggests the fact that the Europa League spaces is quite open to a lot of teams. That's West Ham, that's Crystal Palace, there's Manchester United reeling down there, there's Tottenham. There are lots of teams who are actually coming up. And the season is definitely long. But I think if we can trust a head coach from Tottenham who has done quite remarkable enough and who has got that much amount of time who was given that much amount of time to turn it around, I think our gaffer deserves something better. Don't you think?
Richard, can I ask you a question, Richard? So
yeah,
right. So I mean, I remember you did when you came on the Easytalk, you did say that if he were to lose or if Arsenal were to lose against Leicester, you would be officially Unai Emery out. So again, we're not 1/3 into this new season.
Mm.
What were you to think? Would you change your mind if he secured top 4 at the end of the season?
But,
would you be still adamant that he's not the right man for the job?
But then he needs to take his foot. For me to change my mind from now until December, he needs to take the foot off the gas. He needs to take the foot off the handbrake, because at the moment he's still being too pragmatic about certain decisions that he's making. He needs to let himself go and let the players have the freedom. Let Torreira do what he knows best, not what you're demanding, because what Unai Emery is demanding, Torreira is not happy. And if that carries on, we'll lose him in January. So if we lose Granit Xhaka, we might also lose Lucas Torreira at that same point. And then we've got 2 positions that we need to replace in January. And has been talks that apparently we are not going to go for anyone in January.
But that is subjected to the fact that if we don't need anyone, if Xhaka pushes for a loan deal, if he wants to play more minutes, he'll definitely push, and definitely that would make sure that the Cronkies will definitely put in the money. I will get a short-term replacement for that aspect as well. But where are you on Granit Xhaka playing again for Arsenal? Do you believe that he should play for Arsenal again?
Yeah. Because I think there's something that's missing in the team that Xhaka provides, and that's the long passes to the sides, and we're not doing that as much as to what Granit Xhaka does. Apart from that, that's my only reason. There is something missing that Granit Xhaka does provide that we have lost in the Leicester game. So I think he does deserve to come. If he wants more game time, Emery will give it to him. But it's Granit Xhaka that's not accepting of what's happened. So it's on Granit Xhaka's back. If he wants to leave, by all means go. Because I ain't being funny, Guendouzi can do the business. Now I'm thinking maybe Callum Chambers might even be a replacement for him if we don't buy anyone, because Callum Chambers can play as a defensive midfielder. He played in that position against Fulham and became Fulham's player of the season.
Okay. Well, I mean, you know where I stand on the Unai Emery debate, and I've said so many times on Canal 4 TV, I'm not going to be part of the narrative that Unai Emery needs to leave Arsenal. You know, he's the same coach that brought us that wonderful result against Tottenham. It's the same coach that got us into Europa League Cup final. It's the same coach. And I think people, in my opinion, have become so impatient. People don't want to wait. But that's just my opinion.
Al, the only thing is, I haven't seen no progress under Unai Emery. Where has that pressing game gone from the first time he came in?
Richard,
we're not even 1/3 into the new season.
But then, Richard, if you are saying that during the start of the season and even during the Leicester game that you will be backing Unai Emery if he wins, but you did not mention that there was a condition. I need to see a philosophy. Well, at the end of the day, we want if Arsenal wins 1-0, if Arsenal wins 3-2, we don't think about, oh my God, Arsenal didn't defend well. We just say, great, 3 points, back to the next game. I think before this international break, we were 3rd in the table. There were all the media buzz around that. Oh my God, how did Arsenal actually make it to the third spot? And right now we are 6th. See, it's all what's around us. There is a lot of negativity around us, and I think actually what Hector actually is doing is calling all the Arsenal fans to get behind the team. And right now, this is the time to be united, than calling for somebody to get out of the club, especially the gaffer, who's definitely the one who's actually managing the ship. So I think even as fans, we also have a very important spot in that thing. So I think we all should stick together.
Did you want to come back on that, Richard, or shall we move on?
Well, the only thing, look, I will support the team 100%. I will always support the team, but people need to realise that managers come and go now. You're not going to have a manager that's going to last 22 years. That's not that era anymore. So if the board are seeing that Unai Emery is making mistakes, then I think that they will act upon it. They want Champions League football. At the minute, we're 8 points from that, from even getting into that spot. So at the moment, we are sort of relying on other teams above us to drop points. And I just can't see that happening at the moment. And we've got games like Norwich coming up, who has beaten Man City.
Lost every other game after that.
Yeah, and then we've also got Brighton coming up as well. We also drew to them. So I'm only going by our recent performances that we've had. I do not see no improvement under Unai Emery. The only way he will change my mind is if he takes the foot off the handbrake and lets go full attack, play to your advantage. And the only way we can do that is play a 4-3-3. Have Mesut Ozil in behind Abba, Laka and Pepe and just let loose. But at the moment, he's not doing that.
So if he makes a 4-3-3 formation, if he goes all out attack and still manages to lose all the points, if Arsenal keep on losing, so would you still back the manager?
Well, then that would be down to the players. If Unai Emery has set out the formation and the right formation to go with and the right players, and we do still lose, then the only way it's down to the players. It's down to the players. The lack of communication on the field.
Truly, we would have somebody to blame. Right now, it's the gaffer. Later on, if the gaffer is doing what the fans are asking for, it would be down to the players. My question is, would you back the gaffer?
I don't know. He has to show me something to make me change my mind.
Yeah, what is that? That is what we want to know.
At the moment, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing. If you look at, I'll put it into a scenario. If you look at Jurgen Klopp, for instance, in his first season when he came in as Liverpool, he got rid of the players that he wanted. He got rid of the players that he didn't want. How many players are in that current Liverpool squad right now that was there when he first came in?
4.
Out of the whole entire squad, only 4 players.
True. Only 4 players. Yes.
Within the second season, that his second full season, he was challenging for the title. Unai Emery is near enough into his second season. We've still got the same mentality that we did under Arsene Wenger. Even some of the players that we've got, they are confused on the instructions of what Unai Emery is giving. My solution to this is give the job to Freddie until the end of the season. Let Freddie take over, because Freddie Lomberg, if you look at the Nottingham Forest game, he's the one that gave the instructions to the players. Unai Emery didn't.
Can I just? Sorry,
yeah, please, Alex, please.
I'm just saying one thing that you must be very, very careful, and this is the reason why I no longer do transfer news on Canal 4 TV. Is that you must be very careful what you read and hear in the media. So, Rich, I'm going to challenge you on one part here. You say that the players are confused. Where did you hear that information from? That the players are confused about his instructions?
Al, do you think you can see it on the field? You can see it on the field. The players do look confused by the instructions that Unai Emery's giving.
I don't think so.
The game. If you look at the game against Crystal Palace, we was 2-0 up. How the hell did we come away a draw? How? Something must have been said at half time. Something must have been, because that was a completely different side at half time. Against Leicester on the current game, we wasn't doing too bad in that first half. And in the second half, we came out a complete different team.
If I may come on this, I think I won't blame Richard for this. I would blame the media. The only reason why I'm doing that is because since I cover a lot of daily news stuff on my YouTube channel, I have read it on the media that there was a report where somebody said that these players don't understand what Unai Emery says. It's probably because of his English was made fun of. His good evening is definitely made a meme, and that good
Yeah.
evening is definitely being used up by lots of Arsenal fans. See, Richard, you spoke about the eras and you spoke about now managers not lasting for 22 years.
Mm.
True. But I think this is for the first time that it's happening at Arsenal, that the fans are not even wanting the Gaffer to stay for his second year as well, which is his right. And he's not in a very pathetic situation. No, I think we have 4 games until we face City, and after those 4 games, if this is a condition, if we win all those 4 games, who knows, we'll be in the top 4. And then what? Should we rejoice? No, obviously not, because it will be 16 games out of those 38.
Mm.
We just have to be patient enough. The right thing right now is that, see, lots of Arsenal fans want Unai Emery out. That is not what the management wants. So if the management is not wanting that, why can't you sit back, like lots of Arsenal fans, sit back, relax, enjoy the football? Because I think obviously the certain amount of football is also getting boring. I agree with that as well, because the game is like that. But why can't we get behind the manager? Why can't we get behind the? Do you think Unai Emery, after being 2-0 up, went into the dressing room and said, "Oh, come on," he spoke in some different language and people did not understand. The players did not understand and they got confused, and we drew 2-2. I mean, come on, Crystal Palace also. It's a quality team. They came back from behind and they got their 1 point that they deserve. Maybe we did not deserve to win. If you go to see Aston Villa versus Arsenal game, which we won 3-2, we didn't deserve to win that game. We gave away the lead twice. They played a great amount of football. It's just that 3 good moments that we actually made sure that we made the goal. We were lucky enough. We were lucky enough against the game where Pepe scored two free kicks. We were lucky enough. I mean, we scraped out 3 points. I completely agree, but I think if the management has decided on the Gaffer situation, we need to get behind him. We don't have any other choice, except
Okay.
for
Well,
spreading hate.
that's all we can do. That is all we can do. But for me to change my mind to say that I want Emery out, he needs to improve our away form as well, because we're still the same. We're still the same.
Okay. All right. Anyone who's watching now, I've got IG, aka the Indian Gooner, back on Easytalk, BITESIZE, along with Richard from ARSSOU TV, who's making his way to 1,000 subscribers. And he has said in the past that once he reaches 1,000 subscribers, he's going to do the Freddie Ljungberg look or something like that. Some kind of, yeah. What are you going to do, Richard?
I'm gonna dye the middle of my hair, and I'm actually gonna do that as a video as well for the 1,000 special.
Yeah. So I'll leave the link in the comments box at the end of Easytalk. Those of you who are watching on all the platforms on Facebook as well as Twitter, make sure you subscribe, share, and like the video, the Easytalk. We're here every Friday at 7 p.m. And on Mondays, I'm back with Richard doing fan comments, as well as Wednesday, which is the Voice of Reason with my brother Ralph. Now, some people have questioned the name of that segment, the Voice of Reason. Me personally, I just think it's the Voice of Reason. But anyway, that's going to be a debate I'll have with my brother at a later stage. Let's just go into the comments. There's just been a few comments here, of which, and again, guys, thank you for coming on into the chat and just giving us your time and give us your thoughts and opinions as well. So I've got one here who comes in from Shakos17. If anyone hasn't got money for rent this month, put £50 on Shane Long and 50 on Charlie Austin. Okay, enough said of that. And he comes back and says that Emery is useless, no style of play, and it's impossible to defend him anymore. Okay, and then we've got Gooner Glenn. Hi, guys. Good evening. Gooner Glenn, I think you're out in the States, so it will be afternoon to you. I think you've been a loyal follower of Canon Foyer TV. And then he's come back with a LOL. FDT says hello. And everyone, Emery in are delusional. Okay. Again, you're entitled to your opinion like we are on Canafoy TV. And one more. Every game will be a bad evening until Emery leaves. Okay. Any comments? Do you guys want to respond to any of those comments in the chat? Or?
As I don't know. I don't. Oh, sorry, IJ. Go on.
Yeah, please. I don't know. I probably have to speak to them in a language which they don't understand.
Okay, all right. Right, well, it takes me to my segue. So I think the next thing we wanted to talk about was the game on Saturday versus Southampton. And I don't know why. My thought was thinking, haven't we been here before? We're going to play against Southampton. At that time, they had Ralph Hasenhüttl. And there was some, I think, debate about Leno's goalkeeping coming out of his area. But personally, I'm confident that we will go to the Emirates and we will get the 3 points. I know you've done your preview, haven't you, Richard, on the game on Saturday, haven't you?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, my preview's already out for the game. On paper at the moment, we seem to be the better side. Definitely the better side on paper. Because at the moment, Southampton have lost 7. They are without 7 wins in the Premier League at the moment. So they've got no confidence at all in going into this game against us. In terms of us at the moment, I'm going based off our recent performances that we've played. Now, my heart will say that we're going to win every time. But after our recent performances, I just think that we're going to only get a point against Southampton because I'm only looking at the games, the likes of Crystal Palace, Sheffield United, Wolves, and withdrew those games. Sheffield United we also lost against, but those type of games we should have been winning, and this game we should be winning. A win is all that is needed. Anything less, I think this will definitely put questions to the board if we are not winning these type of games against those type of teams that are lower than us.
Okay. IG, what were your thoughts?
I think this could be the game that Ralph Hasenhüttl would be sacked. Because I agree. Because I think this is the game where the only reason Southampton management are banking on Ralph Hasenhüttl is because he got a 3-2 win when we went to St. Mary's last season. Yeah. So we had Mkhitaryan who scored a couple of goals that time, but Danny Ings was the guy who actually punched us a lot. So I think he could be very, very tough. He's good in the air as well. So I think that is the biggest issue. I think let's see what the formation is. I think Nicola Pepe starts, so I think we'll definitely win this. I don't know. I got a feeling that we're going to keep a clean sheet because I think I think the way how we defended against Leicester, I don't think so. If we can contain them for 60-70 minutes, I think we can definitely win 3-0.
Okay.
There is another player, Al, that we need to watch out for Southampton, and that's James. What's his name? James Ward.
Prowse.
That's it. Him. Yeah, we've got to watch out for him because I think he's created 17 chances for Southampton this season. So he's one person in midfield that we do need to watch out for. Because if he gets into our sorry, no, I was going to say if he starts creating those chances and gets into our back line and into our channels, then we're going to be in for a tough day.
I would also keep my eye on Nathan Redmond.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's good in set pieces. He's good.
Yeah.
I know that there's been some uproar, some comments about XHAKA may be chosen to be back into the first 11 for the game tomorrow. IG, what are your thoughts? Have we spoken about XHAKA before? I think. Do you think he deserves to be back in the squad?
Yeah. Yes. He deserves to be back to the squad. And the best part is that I think he's waiting to prove it to the Arsenal fans that he can provide. I think when Xhaka is off, I don't think so. We have any other player who can do that long range shots and set pieces. You know, he provides a good amount of stability. You believe it or not, Xhaka is our best way of creating chances. He's created the most amount of chances for Arsenal, and he has been a great in that midfield. Now, if Xhaka is given that role of creating, I think we need Torreira to start as a deep playing midfielder. I think I would want to see Torreira for a change to do what he did last season. I just want Guendouzi to be on the bench just like he did for France.
Okay. Richard, your thoughts about potentially Granit Xhaka being back in the 11 for tomorrow, the start?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. Personally, I would actually give Callum Chambers the chance to play in that defensive midfield. To be quite honest, I said earlier on the show that I would go for him. Because he's played as a defensive midfielder for Fulham, and he got the Player of the Year for Fulham that season when he was in that defensive midfield. So, but in terms of Granit Xhaka in being in there, I know that there was at one point that Torreira and Xhaka, they gave a good balance, but I don't know where that's gone all of a sudden. I really don't. And I think for him, if Granit Xhaka is going to come into the side, I just think he needs to keep his head down and just get on with the game and try not to. If the fans are going to do the ironic boos or anything, just ignore it. Just get on with the game, what you're paid to do. I think that's the best way forward. Do I think he deserves to start? Personally, no, because I think he's had a couple of digs during the international break at some of the Arsenal fans. He's had a couple of digs at us. But as a player, as I said, I think he is giving something that we've been missing in terms of the 2 games that he missed. So in terms of that, I think he does deserve to play. But in terms of the digs and everything else he's been doing, no, he doesn't deserve a chance.
Question to both of you guys. Would you prefer that Unai Emery played him in an away game rather than back at the Emirates? Or you guys don't have any qualms at all where he starts?
I would prefer to play him in the away game than I would the home game because of the stuff that happened at the Crystal Palace game. So that's my only reason I would play him in away games and not home games.
See, if you want to integrate a player who has been deserted by the fans, some section of fans who abused him, you play him home and away, does not matter. Because if you play him at home, you will believe that, obviously, if you want to integrate a player, if you want to make him not leave the club, if you want him to play for Arsenal for that badge, he needs to play either home or away. It does not matter at all because you are developing a character, you're showing the confidence which the player needs right now. He knows it in his heart that he does not have any fan support, but when he's on that pitch, he's representing Arsenal, so we have to back him. Not because certain people actually abused him. I don't care about those fans. And probably, Richard, that you mentioned that he made a couple of digs while at the international break. Probably he's made those digs to those fans who threatened his wife, his child.
Yeah.
And if that happened to me, I would have broken their teeth, bro. Trust me on that.
Okay, I think like you say, home or away. I think Emery and I think Bellerin has made some kind of comments to the fact that we need to try and become a family and support one another. But let's see what happens tomorrow. I know I don't usually do this, but I haven't seen your preview as yet, Richard. Did you give a prediction in your preview? Yeah, you did.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I gave a prediction in my preview, and I'm going with a 1-1 draw.
Okay. IG?
3-0 victory for the Arsenal.
Okay.
And hopefully Granit Xhaka scoring.
Oh, that'll be something. That'll be something. I mean, I'm not sure when was his last goal for Arsenal, but that would be something if he were to score a 40-yard screamer, top right hand corner.
Al, are we gonna give our lineups on what we would go with if it was us?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, why not?
Okay, well, the formation I would go with a 4-3-3 attack. That's what I would go with. Because this is, for me, it's an important game for Unai Emery to get off to to get back to winning ways again. But my lineup would be Lino in goal, and then my back four would be Bellerin at right back, Socrates, David Luiz, and Kieran Tierney would be my back line. And then my midfield three, I would have Torreira, Callum Chambers, and I would have Mesut Ozil at the top of the three in that number 10 role. And then as a free attack, I would have Nicolas Pepe out on the right, Lacazette on the left, and then I would have Aubameyang up top. The reason why I would go with Aubameyang up top, because I feel that that's where he's more comfortable of being, is in that central position. Lacazette, the only thing is with Lacazette, where he hasn't got that much quick pace as what Aubameyang has, Lacazette can still come back to supply, to help Ozil as well, to give the ball to Aubameyang and Pep. So I think that would be the best way forward. And I think that if we've got the front three, I think we will go all out attack. So that's what I would go with.
Okay, Archie, did you want to go through your selected 11, or are you just happy just to give us your prediction? The 3-0 with XHAKA, screamer, 40-yard goal, top right-hand corner.
As I had predicted that, I don't know if that's going to be true or not, but I only want to say that I think he'll go with a back three tomorrow with Chambers, who did really impressively well against Leicester. And I think Socrates deserves a comeback, and Luiz is going to be ever present, because I think in a back three, Luiz is more comfortable. Even if he's going to make those mistakes, I think Chambers and Socrates definitely have the pace and that brute strength to actually neutralize any attack.
I've got to say, actually, in the back three, I'm not a fan of the back three. However, saying that, I thought David Luiz looks very, very comfortable in the back three. He looked very, very commanding. He looked more, how can I say, not cavalierish, but yeah, he seemed a lot more comfortable at home, with the back three set up there. And I think as well, we will go with a back three tomorrow against Southampton. But I want to see a 40-yard scream of a goal from GRANIT XHAKA. I might put a bet on that.
That's if he gets picked. That's if he plays.
Well, one can only dream.
That definitely still remains to be seen.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, I think there's just been a couple more comments in the chat. I recognize these two people. And it's Chris, your dad as well, Richard.
My mum, yeah.
All right, okay. All right, fantastic. Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming into the chat. That's it. It's the end. It's the end of a Easy Talk bite size. I did promise you it's going to be a bite size, just under 40 minutes, IG. What?
Can you come up with something, Richard? Please. 20 minutes more.
It's too late. I've called time. Listen, I want to say a big thank you to my guests on this Easy Talk Bite Size segment, which is every Friday at 7 p.m. Richard, it's been a pleasure again to have you back on Cannon TV.
Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure to be back, as always.
Good. And remember, guys, Richard is my co-host every Monday on Fan Comments, 5:30 p.m. UK time. And, of course, IG back in the house, a.k.a. Indian GOONER.
Yes, always a pleasure to speak to Richard. Always a pleasure to be on Cannon Fodder TV. Please, guys, if you're watching, go. I don't think so. This is going to be live. You're going to put it back on YouTube again.
Yes.
Okay. So, guys, go subscribe Richard's channel, Arsenal TV. Great predictions, and Cannon Fodder TV. The best show from Cannon Fodder is The Voice of Reason. So, guys, please watch it while wearing gloves. It's really great.
I will beg to differ on The Voice of Reason, but yeah, I'm going to get the gloves off. But anyhow, guys, it's been a pleasure having both of you back onto the segment Cannon Fodder TV. Who wants to do the outro?
I'll do it.
Richard.
Go for it, Richard.
If you've been wondering what or who you've been watching, you have been watching Cannon Fodder for Arsenal fans all over the world.